thank you to every single person that has been able to do this. Also, I want to talk.
Senator Alex Padilla, I have questions for the secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your hands off.
How many of our ICE agents have been doxxed for doing their duty.
That was a real-time double view of what actually happened this morning in Los Angeles at a federal building. In case you don't know or didn't hear him say it, that man being forcibly removed from Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's public press conference was not some random protester off the street. That man is sitting United States Senator from California, Alex Padilla. The senator said he was in that federal building today for a pre-planned meeting, but he heard that Secretary Noem was actually in the building too, speaking directly to the media just a few doors down. And since he said her office has been stonewalling him over his questions about what's actually going on with these ICE raids in his state, he decided to ask her a question at her press conference.
I was there peacefully. At one point, I had a question. And so I began to ask a question. I was almost immediately forcibly removed from the room. I will say this. If this is how this administration responds to a senator with a question, if this is how the Department of Homeland Security responds to a senator with a question, you can only imagine what they're doing to farm workers, to cooks, to day laborers, out in the Los Angeles community and throughout California and throughout the country. We will hold this administration accountable.
Of course, Homeland Security has a different take on what happened. According to the DHS Assistant Secretary, she said Senator Padilla chose disrespectful political theater and interrupted a live press conference without identifying himself or having his Senate security pin on as he lunged towards Secretary Noem. Mr. Padilla was told repeatedly to back away and did not comply with officers' repeated commands. Secret Service thought he was an attacker and officers acted appropriately. Secretary Noem met with Senator Padilla after and held a 15-minute meeting. Now, you did hear in that video that the senator did identify himself, but perhaps Noem and the Secret Service agents around her didn't hear him? I don't know. Senator Padilla confirmed that he and Noem indeed did have that short meeting, and he said he was not arrested, but he was thrown to the ground and handcuffed. Now, this incident has exploded on Capitol Hill. Tons of Democrats in the Senate have taken to the Senate floor to rail against the Trump administration and the actions of Homeland Security against Senator Padilla today and have called for Secretary Noem to resign.
What does that mean if they're using the violent force of government unjustly against him? This is a breach. This body has not seen such a breach in my lifetime or longer, where the executive has treated an honorable member of this body in this way. That should be enough.
Republicans have also come out, but they are in support of Noem and say this was all Senator Padilla's fault, and they're accusing him of intentionally causing a scene.
I think the senator's actions, my view is it was wildly inappropriate. You don't charge a sitting cabinet secretary, and everybody can draw their own conclusions. You can see it's a heated debate here.